can't find it.
If you ask me, Dr. Quincy is out of her element, Miss Lucy.
What a thing to say.
What Miss Lucy has is physical. Dr. Quincy's used to dealing with the mind. I overheard her tell her sister she was thinking of consulting a specialist.
You shouldn't eavesdrop, Flora.
I can't help hearing what I hear. Besides, I do hope she calls in that specialist. Miss Lucy isn't herself at all.
What do you mean, then?
I mean, she's different sometimes.
Different but gibberish.
Look how kind she is, and gentle.
Indeed, I do love the young woman.
Every once in a while, she flashes angry, and her voice becomes harsh, almost cruel. I have to turn around to be sure it's Miss Lucy who's speaking.
When people aren't feeling well, they have a tendency to be irritable.
Maybe. Still, I do wish Dr. Quincy would call in that specialist.
Quite the hike back from the village.
Why are you in the village?
It's Wednesday. Wednesday is always my day for the village. I visited my brother.
Is he still on the horse?
Where else would he work? He was raised by the sea, and I suspect he'll die by the sea. Salt water gets in a man's blood. The whole village is in the state.
What about?
The maritime inquiry. You know that ship that came into harbor last week?
It's in quarantine, isn't it?
Not any longer. The vessel was from Finland, carrying cargo from some river ports in some place called Transylvania. 3 of the men died on the voyage.
From what?
Anybody's guess. Seems the crew had the feel that someone or something was a stowaway.
What do you mean by something?
I'm only repeating what my brother told me. 2 of the sailors simply disappeared. One of them was heard crying out for his lost for good.
Crying out? What?
Save me! Save me! They couldn't find a trace of the man. Overboard, apparently. Seems that most of the lads are suffering from anemia.
Just like Miss Lucy.
I haven't told you the best part, or worse, depending on how you look at it.
There's more.
One of the sailors swears he saw a tall, thin man walking the deck. A ghost, he said.
Seems as if Dr. Quincy will be having a few more guests.
No, the truly interesting part is about the cargo.
What about the cargo?
4 coffins.
You said coffins?
I did. And when the harbor authorities pried the cover forward of the coffins, what do you think they found?
Nothing, I hope.
Filled to the top with some foul-smelling earth, fancy shipping dirt halfway across the continent.
Who would do such a thing?
Our neighbor.
Neighbor.
The consignment was addressed to Carfax Castle. It's been sold to some foreign gentlemen.
Grim did say he saw lights at Carfax Castle. Surely the owner hasn't taken up residence yet.
I wouldn't know about that. My brother says the customs report listed 4 coffin-shaped boxes containing garden earth. I must be about my duties. I'll be in Dr. Quincy's study.
I don't like the sound of that.
Foreigners are strange.
There's an healthy strange and there's an unhealthy strange. What Nurse Cassie just described is not healthy.
That's not to tell Miss Lucy. It would only upset her.
Oh, Mr. Renfield, not again! Mr. Renfield, you know, Mr. Renfield.
Dr. Quincy promised me a spider!
Is that disgusting, Mr. Renfield?
Mind your manners, remember he's a guest. Quickly go fetch Grim.
I don't see why we don't just give him a key to the front door.
Now, Mr. Renfield. You know you're not allowed in this part of the house. What are you doing? Mine. What have you got there?
Oh, my.
I'm going to get Dr. Quincy.
What do I count you do?
Leave me alone. I'm important. Dr. Quincy, ma'am!
Oh, what again? How do you do it, Renfield? You're a regular Houdini.
You're not going to take it away from me.
What?
He's caught under the fly.
Come here, Renfield. Let's have that fly.
No!
Oh, that's a disgusting habit you've got there, Mr. Renfield. You and the insects.
What's the disturbance?
Mr. Renfield!
Grim, you've got to keep a better watch on him.
I'm sorry, Dr. Quincy, but Renfield's in and out like one of them flies he fancies.
I'm done with flies. I'm through. I want spiders. Nice, fat spiders.
If you excuse me, Dr. Quincy, I think I have some things to attend to.
Go along. Now tell me, Renfield, why do you wish for spiders?
Spiders are stronger than flies.
I've seen balmy ones before, Doctor, but Renfield's got him beats by a mile.
If only you knew.
What do you mean by that?
Ask Miss Lucy.
Why should I ask my niece anything as far as you're concerned?
Give me a spider and I'll tell you.
Take him back to his room, stay with him. I'll send Cassidy up with a sedative.
If only you knew. Didn't you hear the wolves?
Betty Bye?
Yes. Sorry to intrude. You are Dr. Quincy?
I am.
I am Miss Samia from Dr. Bartok's hospital in Budapest.
Delighted that you're here. Delighted. Where's Mr. Harker?
This is wife. She met us outside. He brightened immediately, so I thought it best to come on ahead.
Loving reunions can do as much as medicine in these cases.
I have his records here.
I shall study these with great interest. I appreciate Dr. Bartok's concern. How is Jonathan?
He's made tremendous progress, but he is still a dangerously ill man.
How sad. We must bring him around. I would appreciate you staying on the case for a week or so, if that wouldn't interfere with your plans.
I do not plan to return to Romania until the first of the month.
Splendid. I would have many questions.
I am at your service.
I'm confident that you'll be comfortable here.
You are most kind.
You have no idea how I've dreamed of this moment.
You're home, dear. Your worries are over. Jonathan, how wonderful to see you.
It's good of you to want me here, Dr. Quincy.
Rest is what you need, and you'll get it here.
Miss Anya has been an angel, and Dr. Bartok was a saint. I don't like to think what would have become of me without their help.
You are home now, Mr. Harker. Miss your loved ones. Think healthy thoughts. Do not dwell on the darker side of man's nature.
You rang, miss. This is Miss Anya from Budapest. She'll be staying with us. Show her to her room, see that she is made comfortable.
If you follow me, miss. Feel free to consult with me whenever necessary, Dr. Quincy.
I shall.
What an odd thing to say. Do not dwell on the darker side of one's nature.
She's been a tower of strength.
Brain fever can be most serious.
I couldn't convince Dr. Bartok that my ravings were anything more than delusions.
Oh, whatever happens in Romania, you must put it out of your mind.
No, I advise against that. Delusions, locked on tight, have a tendency to fester. I shall like to hear what happened on your business trip.
Is that what?
You must leave these matters to me. Here with friends and wife, Jonathan should feel relaxed and safe. Please sit down, Nina.
I don't like to recall that trip.
I insist.
I went to arrange a sale of Carfax Castle to an obscure nobleman.
His name?
Dracula. Count Dracula. The people who lived in the vicinity of his ancient castle were terrified of the name. They said he and his wives were...
Continue.
Ah! I think I'm getting a headache!
You mustn't be evasive, Jonathan. What do the people say about this Count Dracula and his wives?
They said they were vampires.
Oh, superstition!
I put them down as being little more than ignorant peasants.
You saw this Count?
His courage met me.
Carriage, you mean car, automobile.
No courage, horse-drawn. That part of the world's like a page from history. The roads are little more than running paths. Terrified me from the moment I saw him. I could think of nothing but vampire. At first everything seemed routine. I never saw him in the daytime. There were no mirrors in his fortress. And then, it happened.
It?
My meals were always brought to me by Count Dracula himself. I don't believe there were any servants. I was shaving as he came into the room with the tray. I cut myself. He saw the blood, and the sight of blood turned him into something hideous. His lips rolled back, his teeth were like fangs. I can't go on! I won't go on!
Cassidy! Cassidy!
Everything's all right, Jonathan. You're safe.
I was his prisoner!
Prepare an injection from Mr. Harker. It'll calm you down. You'll sleep.
I don't want to sleep! I have dreams!
Don't just stand there, Cassidy. Do as I say.
Yes, doctor.
You spoke of dreams.
Must this continue?
One recurring dream. I see standing in the moonlight 4 young women with masses of lovely hair, all with pointed white teeth and dark, dark red lips. They called to me. They whispered together, whispers that could never come through human lips.
Oh, what has happened to him?
Not uncommon in such cases. A temporary state of blocking recall.
I don't understand.
His mind simply refuses to accept the validity of what he's saying. Hence, he blocks it out. My job will be to remove the blocks.
Ah!
There, that should do it.
long